Hi there, Save with Crypto here. Okay, so about the $200 challenge. Yeah, it didn't end well. I didn't think it was going to, which is why I asked you guys in the Telegram group yesterday if I should do something to try and save the position. So I was talking about maybe adding margin to it or a second long order or whatever, or should I keep it as a pure $200? That's what we're using. And the general sentiment was to leave it at $200 and don't mess with it. And consequently, I looked at it yesterday and I could have closed it and I'd have had $50 left, which seemed a bit sad. So I thought I'd just, leave it to God and see what happened. And yeah, sure enough, the price came down and it got liquidated. So this is the worst email you'll ever get from ByBit, just saying that your position has been liquidated. So yeah, that's it. So all the money from that account has gone. I can show you that. So you can see here that the balance is pretty much zero. So the question is, what shall I do next? Well, first of all, am I upset about this? Well, no, I'm not actually, because when the general sentiment was to leave it at $200, I thought, okay, sod you lot then. What I'll do, I'll go short on a different account and try and make some money. So if it comes down to liquidation point, at least I've got another account where I'm going to make some money. So I'll show you how that one ended. Okay, so this is the account here. This is actually a USDT account. I've normally got some USDT in my main ByBit account that I use occasionally for shorting purposes, because obviously if you're shorting, you're kind of hoping that the underlying asset that you're holding isn't going to go down in value. So at that point, I want to be holding USDT. If you think the value is going to go up, you want to be holding Bitcoin, because that's the asset you believe will go up in value. Now, obviously, over time, I do think BTC will go up in value, but at the moment it seems to be struggling rather a lot. The other purpose of USDT is you can do the USDT perpetual trade. So if you want to trade, an altcoin or something, I don't know, even that Pepe 1000 thing, if you want to trade that, you can do that with the USDT. So you don't actually have to buy the actual crypto. You can just trade the derivative of it using your USDT. Anyway, for that reason, I've normally got some USDT in this account. So I was doing a short from 26,952 and I came down to 26,636, which I thought was about the liquidation price on the other account. So that actually made 29%. I was using 25x leverage, which is quite degenerate. But that made $513. So although I lost the 200, I gained 513. So I'm not too worried about the loss. The question is, what do you want me to do next? Do you want me to start off with $200 again, try and do a better job this time? I think maybe starting off with $200 again is a good idea. Because I've definitely learnt some things since January by doing that. And the weird thing is, using a small amount, like $200, it does change the way you do things, because you're normally quite desperate to get that up to a larger figure very quickly. And so you tend to use higher leverage, that kind of thing. You also tend to use like all the accounts because, you want to see the gains as quick as possible. Whereas if you have a larger account, then you're normally quite happy to just trade like with 10% of the account. So so let me know what you think I should do with that. Do that in the comments down below, or if you're in the Telegram group, let me know over there. Now, as far as what the price is going to do next, it's so hard to say really, because I would love to think that this was like a kind of local bottom now, but I'm not sure. And the reason for that is if you put on the VRVP, the visual range volume profile, and this shows you what levels most of the trading happened. So obviously this kind of area of 28,138 that we'd been around over the last few weeks, that was obviously quite an important area here. And then the one below that is kind of 22,989, so it's quite possible the price could come down here. It could come nastily down here, and that would sort of make sense, wouldn't it? If you look at how quickly we went up there, it would make sense to sort of come down quickly here. And, below that, you're looking at prices like, 17,000. Now a short would make sense because what tends to happen is where you get these areas like this where there's like not much trading happened, I think they call them inefficiencies. There's basically like a lack of liquidity there. So while you're in that area, the price tends to move through it very, very quickly. And if that moved to there and got below this kind of node here, it could easily go down to there, which would be quite devastating for a lot of people. So I am contemplating a short, but if we zoom in, maybe go to the 15-minute. Yeah, so looking at the VWAP here, the area to go short would be up here, sort of thing, around about back up at around 27k again. So I think if we decide to continue with the $200 challenge, then that's probably what I'll be looking at there. The other option is to try and gradually build up a long position, going from say 25.9 down to the lowest price that we could possibly think it would ever go down to. But I'm still not convinced if shorting is a good idea because it's come down so much overnight. I mean, what I might do on my main account is I might go long kind of around this dotty line on the VWAP here. So something like 26,200. I might just do that now actually. So, with this, I'm quite happy to just go 26,200. It's on 10x leverage here. I'll leave it there. And then let's say go long with 25% of the account there. So I think that's a reasonable thing to do for now. But let me know what you want me to do with the challenge account. Do you want me to start again with 200, or do you want me to start with a different amount, like 100, or even a higher amount? I mean, I have the money to do whatever you want, really. Well, within reason. But yeah, just let me know, and I'll go with the majority decision. All right, I'll leave it there for the time being. I've got a few other things to do today, but yeah, price action is really quite weird at the moment. I don't think it's particularly easy to trade, to be honest. But nevertheless, I think there is opportunities here. I mean, don't forget, what's happened over the past sort of like few months. If we look at the daily chart, you can see we've almost forgotten that, back in November, we were down here at like 15,000. And, we've come up so much since then. It went up, I suppose, at its high, it kind of went up 100%, so you could have, even just by buying Bitcoin back in November, you could have doubled the value of what you own just by holding it in a few months. So as I say, overall, I'm still very, very bullish, but at the moment, might get a little bit of a pullback anyway. All right, I'll let you know what's happening in the Telegram groups, and I'll answer any comments that you leave here. So while you're down there doing that, please do give the video a like, make sure you're subscribed, and above all, tell your friends.